There's a moment every man dreads, a shift in the air. The way her tone changes, the way her eyes no longer hold the same warmth. You can't explain it, but something inside you whispers that something's wrong. She says everything's fine, but her behavior tells a different story. When a wife cheats, it's rarely the act itself that reveals the truth. It's the emotional trail she leaves behind. Most men don't notice it at first. They want to believe it's stress, or work, or maybe just a phase. But the truth is, a woman's behavior transforms the moment she crosses that line. She may try to hide it, but her energy will always tell the story. And if you pay attention, you'll see the signs clearly. These are the 6 attitudes a wife begins to show immediately after she cheats. The first attitude is emotional distance disguised as independence. She'll suddenly start saying things like, "I need space," or "I just need time for myself." What she's really doing is creating emotional separation to ease her guilt. Before, she might have shared her thoughts, her worries, her plans with you. But now, she holds them back. She wants to justify the emotional wall she's building, so she wraps it in the language of self-care. You'll feel it in her silence. She's not angry but detached. Her laughter sounds different, her hugs feel hollow, and conversations end quicker than before. What she's doing is unconsciously preparing herself for emotional exit, and she'll convince herself it's personal growth. But it's not. It's withdrawal wrapped in self-defense. The second attitude is unexpected irritation. Suddenly the smallest things about you begin to bother her. The way you breathe, the way you ask simple questions, even the sound of your footsteps can set her off. She starts picking fights over things that never mattered before. This isn't about what you did wrong. It's about her trying to justify her betrayal. When a woman cheats, guilt becomes unbearable unless she shifts the blame. So she projects her unease onto you, making you the villain in a story she created to protect herself. Her mind tells her, "He doesn't understand me," or "We're not the same anymore." In reality, it's not you she's angry with, it's herself. But it's easier to lash out at you than to face the weight of what she's done. The third attitude is sudden secrecy. Her phone becomes her most guarded possession. You'll notice she takes it everywhere, even when it never mattered before. She changes her passwords, flips her screen away when you walk by, or claims she's just protecting her privacy. Privacy isn't new, but this level of secrecy is. There's a tension behind her actions, a fear of being caught. She's hyper-aware, careful, and oddly defensive if you ask simple questions. And while she may insist it's just about boundaries, her behavior screams something else. Because when loyalty breaks, transparency fades with it. The woman who once left her phone on the table now keeps it locked under her hand. It's not about technology, it's about hiding a second life she doesn't want you to see. The fourth attitude is misplaced kindness. It might sound strange, but sometimes after a woman cheats, she becomes unusually nice. She'll cook your favorite meal, compliment you out of nowhere, or act overly affectionate for a few days. It's not love returning, it's guilt management. She's trying to convince herself that she's still a good person, that she still cares, that her mistake doesn't define her. This phase doesn't last long, but it's confusing because it feels real in the moment. You might think the relationship is improving, but underneath, it's her conscience trying to breathe. When a woman cheats, her emotions swing between guilt and denial, and this kindness is her temporary way of calming the storm inside. The fifth attitude is emotional comparison. You'll notice her expectations change suddenly. The things that once made her happy now feel insufficient. She might start talking about how other couples seem more connected, or how she wishes communication were different. What's really happening is comparison. She's measuring you against the person she cheated with. In her mind, she's trapped between comfort and excitement, between security and fantasy. That inner conflict makes her restless. She'll start rewriting history, convincing herself that your relationship has been broken for longer than it really has. This rewriting helps her ease her guilt, making her betrayal feel justified. She tells herself, "I deserve to be happy," without realizing she's destroying the happiness she already had. And the sixth attitude is disconnection disguised as peace. Once the initial guilt fades, she becomes calm, too calm. There's no fighting, no tears, no tension, just silence. You'll feel her slipping away, even though she's still in the same room. She won't react to your affection or your frustration. She'll simply detach. This is the stage where her heart has left even if her body hasn't. When a woman reaches this point, it's no longer about secrecy, it's about emotional closure. She's already accepted the distance and mentally rewritten her role in your life. She may even act content, but that calmness is not healing. It's resignation. That's how you know something inside her has changed permanently. The hardest part about all of this is understanding that these attitudes aren't random. They're the psychological echoes of guilt, shame, and confusion. When a woman cheats, she doesn't just betray you. She betrays her own emotional integrity. And the mind has to find a way to survive that contradiction. Some women withdraw, some overcompensate, and some quietly fall apart inside while pretending everything is normal. But one thing never lies: the energy between you. When loyalty breaks, the connection feels hollow. You can sense it before you even have proof. Now, here's what most men do wrong. They either panic and accuse her immediately or ignore their instincts hoping things will fix themselves. Both approaches fail. Accusation makes her defensive, while denial lets the betrayal continue. What you need is awareness. Watch patterns, not moments. Behavior doesn't change without reason. A sudden shift in tone, attention, or affection always means something. It doesn't always confirm cheating, but it does confirm emotional distance. And emotional distance is the first symptom of disloyalty. Dr. Alina Rose always reminds men that trust is not about control, it's about awareness. A faithful partner gives you peace without needing constant validation. But when that peace disappears, you must pay attention. Not to punish, not to accuse, but to understand what's really happening beneath the surface. Because silence in a relationship is rarely empty. It's filled with truths that someone's too afraid to say aloud. If you start recognizing these 6 attitudes in your wife, take a step back and evaluate, not emotionally, but calmly. Don't chase her attention, observe her consistency. Don't argue, listen to what her actions are telling you. And most importantly, don't lose yourself trying to fix what she's already decided to break. Sometimes, betrayal teaches you more about someone's character than years of loyalty ever could. In the end, truth has a way of surfacing, even when buried deep under lies and guilt. You'll feel it before you find it. You'll see it in her silence, her sudden kindness, her distance. Don't ignore that intuition. Because the moment you do, you start betraying yourself. Remember, love deserves honesty, not confusion. And once trust is gone, pretending won't bring it back. Recognize the signs, stay grounded, and protect your peace. Because when she changes this way, it's not just her attitude that's shifted, it's her loyalty.